Many of you have questions surrounding the Mortal Kombat lore, and with those questions, you ask me to do a video on it, which turns into a Mortal Kombat Explained video. However, this time around, I want to alter some things and want to make a Mortal Kombat lore Q&A series where you send in your questions relating specifically to the lore or story of Mortal Kombat, and then I answer them in the video. These questions from the video are from YouTube, but if you guys want to see another episode of this series, I will take questions from my Discord. If you haven't already, join my Discord and type in your questions there. I don't know how long this video will be, so I'll put some timestamps in the description below. So let's get down with the first question from End O Days, who asks, are Liu Kang and Kung Lao related? The games often say they're both descendants of the great Kung Lao, but the two Shaolin monks never actually acknowledge this fact. So there's been a lot of confusion going around on whether or not Liu Kang and Kung Lao are actually related, and the answer is a little complicated. So everybody knows that Kung Lao is the descendant of the great Kung Lao. That's probably the number one thing everybody knows about this character, besides his hat, of course. In his Mortal Kombat 2 bio, it states that he is the last descendant of the great Kung Lao. It wasn't until Mortal Kombat 4 where Goro's bio states that Liu Kang is also related to the great Kung Lao. So it should be answered there fair and simple that yes, Kung Lao and Liu Kang are related as very distant cousins. However, John Tobias came out and said that Liu Kang and Kung Lao are not related and were never intended to be so. The only reason why MK4 states that Liu Kang is related to the great Kung Lao is because they tried to have the games relate to the movie, which came out shortly after MK4 did. Because, as we know, in the first Mortal Kombat movie, Liu Kang states that he is the descendant of the great Kung Lao. And after the movie came out, they tried to make it work in the games, and that all created a confusion in the community. Future games never brought up Kung Lao and Liu Kang being related, so that could be the writers just pretending that piece of story isn't canon. But then again, it doesn't state that they aren't, so they could technically still be related if you just want to go off of the games. But if you want to go off of John Tobias' word, who is the co-creator of Mortal Kombat, the two Shaolin monks aren't related, and to me, that's what I'll go by. Thank you so much for the question, by the way. I hope that answer helps. The next question we have today is from Wally G, or Gi, who asks, is Liu Kang still the Mortal Kombat champion? Thank you for the question, Wally, and I'm going to assume you are talking about the current Mortal Kombat timeline. So if we are talking about the current timeline, Liu Kang did win the Mortal Kombat tournament in the Mortal Kombat 2011 story, as we all saw. So yes, we know then that he is the champion. But since Mortal Kombat X takes place 25 years after the first one, and Liu Kang is dead and now a revenant, is he still the Mortal Kombat champion? And, well, the answer is yes, he is still the MK champion. He hasn't lost a Mortal Kombat tournament because another Mortal Kombat tournament hasn't taken place yet. A Mortal Kombat tournament is held once a generation, which means it's held once every 50 years. And it hasn't been 50 years yet from MK 2011 to MKX. It's been 25 years. So yes, even though he did die, he still holds the title of being the champion of Mortal Kombat. Moving on to the third question from Guardian Legacy, who asks, why are Sub-Zero's eyes white? Thank you for the question, Guardian, and I have seen a lot of people ask this question about why are Sub-Zero's eyes white, and well, they aren't really white. They're sort of like glowing to represent how far he has come in terms of being a cryomancer, and it all started in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, where it states in his bio that once he obtained the Dragon Medallion, it enhanced his freezing powers. Ever since then, you notice his eyes started to change. In Deadly Alliance, his eyes are kind of glowing blue, and in Deception and Armageddon, they are white. I know it's inconsistent, but it could be a graphics problem in the games, but the general understanding is that Sub-Zero's eyes are glowing in strength from being a cryomancer after he got the medallion. It also explains why Frost has glowing eyes in Deadly Alliance and Deception, because in Deadly Alliance, she tried to steal the medallion from Sub-Zero, and when she held it in her hand, it was too powerful for her to a point where she froze herself. However, Sub-Zero certainly doesn't need the medallion for his eyes to glow or to be stronger with cryomancy. As we can see in Mortal Kombat X and Injustice 2, Sub-Zero's render shows his eyes glowing. Again, this is to show how powerful he is with his Cryomancer powers. I know the medallion he wears in his Grandmaster variation, I think it's his Grandmaster variation, or it could be his Cryomancer variation, but anyways, one of his variations has a medallion on it, and it could be mistaken for the Dragon Medallion, but it looks nothing like it, so I wouldn't say it is. It could be another retcon, but I think it's just there to just show the difference in which variation you're playing in. On to the fourth question from Al2C Gamer, who asks, are Drahmin and King Jerrod, Kitana's father, the same person? Thank you for the question, Al, and yeah, a lot of people have asked me this, and some people even say that I said Drahmin is King Jerrod, and well, I actually never said that. I said it's a question people had because of one simple similarity between the two, which is how Drahmin actually used to look like and how King Jerrod used to look like, or how King Jerrod looked like from the MK Malibu comics. The picture on the left is concept art from Deadly Alliance, and on the right is King Jerrod from the Malibu comics. And that's where the similarities pretty much end there. There's nothing really to suggest that Jerrod is Drahmin. And Mortal Kombat 2011 pretty much shuts down that whole theory and thought too, since it's revealed that Jerrod's soul is an Ermac. And that, my friend, is where the whole question should end. It wouldn't even make sense because Jerrod wasn't a bad guy, so why would he be sent to hell? The only possible explanation is if somebody took his soul and did whatever they wanted with it. And in canon, Shao Kahn killed Jerrod, and when he created Ermac, Shao Kahn took his soul and put it in Ermac. So no, Drahmin is not Jerrod, so the theory should just be put to rest there. Alright, on to the final question for today that comes from Jerrod G, who asks, who is the big dude in Quan Chi's fortress? Is he Shao Kahn? Thank you for the question, Jerrod, and if you guys don't know what he's talking about what you see here on the screen. As you can see, it's a big revenant dude rising in the middle of the stage. Now, there have been a lot of people who think this is a nod to Shao Kahn and that Quan Chi is possibly resurrecting him. For one, his armor and warhammer is in Quan Chi's fortress, and two, people like to bring up Quan Chi's MK9 ending where he did resurrect Shao Kahn to kill Shinnok. Now, those are good points, but here's where it all falls short. The Elder Gods have Shao Kahn's soul. At the end of Mortal Kombat 2011, we see that the Elder Gods destroyed his physical form and take his soul with them. Quan Chi can't go to the heavens and steal his soul. That's just not something he can do. So no, Shao Kahn is not in Quan Chi's fortress. Quan Chi isn't resurrecting Shao Kahn. A lot of people like to bring up that there's like a hole in his chest and everything. Like you can see there's a hole in his chest. That's not a hole in his chest. That's his heart beating, and you can see the beat of the heart just flowing through the veins and everything. That's just a visual thing. So again, no, Shao Kahn is not in Quan Chi's fortress. That's just a random revenant being resurrected just to give the stage a cool visual appeal. Thank you so much for the question though, Jerrod. I hope I answered your question well. So those are the 5 questions from this episode's Mortal Kombat lore Q&A. Now, this is the part where people start leaving, but I do have a couple questions for you guys. 1, please let me know if you want to see more of these videos, and 2, would you guys like me to answer 5 questions per episode, or would you guys like me to answer more than 5, like 10 or 15? Remember, it'll be a long video if it's 10 or 15, but I'll have timestamps in the description every episode, so if there's a specific question you were looking for, it's right there. Anyways, remember, if you want to send in your questions for the next episode, be sure to join my Discord and ask me through the Lore Q&A text channel. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.